What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. If this is your first time, baby, get comfortable, take your shoes off, stay a little while. You on my purple wall. So normally I would say you in my living room, which we still are, but I'm trying something a little different because, you know, I had the flower wall before, but flower wall was season 3 Insecure. We are season 4 Insecure now, so I had to get the periwinkle. It's called orchid. I ain't never saying orchid this color, but I got a periwinkle backdrop to match the branding of this season. You know, we got to be on brand, okay? So as you see in the title, this is going to be a recap video for episode 3 of season 4, which was my favorite so far. Oh my gosh, y'all, like, I can't wait. We finna go in. If you have not watched the episode, go ahead and pause this video, watch the episode. It's only 30 minutes and 10 seconds. You know, we asked for a little bit more time and Issa gave us 10 seconds. Thanks, sis. So yeah, go watch the episode and then come back so then we can talk about it, okay? Okay, so like, where do I really even start? So much to unpack in this episode. First of all, the music in this episode was bomb. The B-roll footage of LA, bomb. Everything, like the non-verbal acting, like they really, the writing of this one, like I laughed out loud so many times at just like different one-liners when like Issa was like, when she mentioned Macy Gray, she was like, I hope she's okay. Y'all, I hollered. Like, there were so many little itty, like, you know, itty bitty moments in the show that I just truly, truly enjoyed. I don't know who wrote this episode, who produced it, but they went in. So I'm gonna start with Molly. Cousin Molly is going through some things this season, and well, she's always going through some things because that's just Molly. But I think Molly has really unrealistic expectations for other people, but not for herself. And I think with these unrealistic expectations, it has provided repeated disappointments from different people, whether it's her daddy, whether it's Andrew, whether it's Issa, whether it's Dro, like her job. I think she has unrealistic expectations of like what people's interactions should be with her and vice versa. So first of all, the grocery store scene, I like the fact that they are mature enough to admit that there's something not right about this friendship, because I know some people will dance around it just for the sake of like not being the one to bring it up. So the fact that they were able to address that there is something but they couldn't put a label on it, I thought was really, really interesting. Her whole comment about, you know, Issa and Lawrence and Condola being in a throuple, it's like, but sis, you literally were. Like, I'm so glad Issa said that, because I'm like, pot, meat, kettle, okay. But I just think, again, like I've said for the past 3 episodes, well, past 2 episodes on my show, I got a show. No, I'm just kidding. But like I've said, I think that Yvonne is used to Issa being her lower than her friend. So when Issa is out here doing things that don't require her to consult with Molly, her to ask Molly, her to depend on Molly for anything, Molly don't know how to handle that. So it's like she keeps like lashing out with these little, you know, zingers and one-liners and things like that. And I think Issa's to the point where it's like, okay, you ain't gonna keep coming for me. Like, I got hot ones too. So I was very glad that that conversation happened. And we've all been there. Like, sometimes people just be in different places. Like, I know for me personally, like, if I'm going through something bad and like one of my friends is in an up season, I don't necessarily always just bring all my drama and my, you know, downtroddenness to their life, because I don't want to be like the Debbie Downer. Sometimes I just, you know, will stay to myself, or I have, you know, other friends that I could talk to about that kind of stuff. But I think Molly doesn't comprehend that sometimes people can be in different places and you have to celebrate other people. Like, it's fine, sis, it's fine. And I also think with Molly and her dad's relationship, I really like how her brother kind of had to check her. Like, basically, like, sis, he's human. And if the human that he literally hurt was able to get over it, like, why are you holding on to it? Like, why are you wanting him to learn his lesson so bad that he hurt somebody, and that's not your job? I was so happy that her brother kind of, you know, checked her on the low. Like, he, you know what I'm saying, like, he didn't do it in a hurtful way, but it's kind of like, you know, he's human. Like, he's a person and people mess up all the time. So why are you holding him to a different regard? Because once again, unrealistic expectations. Why are you holding him to such a high regard when he's just a person? So Don't. Okay, so let's talk about brother Lawrence. Lawrence Hive, where is your king? No, I'm just kidding. And let me just say, because I was talking to my friends last night about the episode, and they was like, you always be hating on Lawrence. Like, why don't you like Lawrence? I don't have an issue with Lawrence. One thing that I like about it is that this show is exposing a different level of insecurity. I feel like we always focus on women's insecurities, about weight, about like how they look, how they dress, their stature, their, you know what I'm saying, status, all of the above, that we never really see them dig into male insecurity. And I love the fact that this show just dove right into it. And so this is going to be kind of like a two-parter, because I'm going to talk about Lawrence and then I'm going to weave in Condola, and then we just going to transfer over to Issa, and then we going to wrap this thing on up. But so Lawrence and his insecurities is very interesting to me, because like homeboy in the beginning, when he's like, dang, I feel like I got to step my game up, like you can see that there are certain insecurities within Lawrence that first season he did not have. He didn't really care about stepping his game up. He didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no motivation for him to step his game up. So to see him like give the effort and things like that is very good to see, because it's growth. Like the way Kelly said, growth. But I do think that homeboy jumped the gun a lot with this relationship. Like, and just to, you know, reiterate back to Molly, my friend Steven brought up a good point last night. Like, it was the dynamics of the two relationships is kind of weird, because they're kind of in the same place. They met around the same time. So it's interesting that like Molly and Andrew are official, and then Condola and Lawrence are not. But Lawrence kind of invited himself to Condola's Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, and Molly hesitated to invite Andrew to her family's Thanksgiving, and then her family was like, well, why didn't you bring him? You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really interesting. But back to Lawrence. I think he jumped the gun a lot. I think that he found somebody that he likes in Condola, Condoleezza, and he likes her so much that it's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. It's like the same thing that Issa was wanting him to do like back in the day, but we're gonna get back to that at the end. We're gonna talk about it at the end. I thought it was interesting because he did kind of invite himself, and she was so hesitant when he's like, well, you know, would you want me to like slide through? And she's like, oh, sure, I didn't know you would want to come. But then like even like his whole, like the way he dressed, like that's not how Lawrence dresses. So the effort that he put in for this girl was very interesting to me, because it's like, what has she given you to make you feel like y'all were there? Or what hasn't she given you to make you not feel like you weren't there, if that makes sense? But I just thought her Friendsgiving party looked dry. Like I wouldn't have wanted to be there personally. Like her friends look boring. No offense, but like they did. And like the humor and things like that, it just did not seem like his vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Issa, when they joke back and forth in that restaurant, it was cohesive. It happened. It was smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't forced. I feel like a lot of things with him and Condola seem forced, like their interactions. And like my friend Aaron was saying, like every time that they say something, like they kiss afterwards, but it's like a forced action. And it's just like, I think he may be forcing it more so than her. And one other thing that I thought was interesting is like the conversation that he had with her after dinner, where he was like, you said you didn't want a family, and she's like, I don't want to be married. And he's like, I think a lot of people, they put those two together, and I don't know, was that two? No, it wasn't. But I think a lot of people put those two and two together, and everybody's you know, white picket fence life isn't the same. So, you know, if she's been there, done that, gotten married, got divorced, and don't want to do it anymore, I think it was very presumptuous of Lawrence to be like, oh, well, you know, if she says she wants a family, obviously she wants the husband to go with it. And that may not be the case, bro. Like, that's just not how it works. But I applaud Lawrence's effort though, because he did give the effort. I mean, he didn't know nothing about fixing sinks, and you know, he went on YouTube. That's effort. Like, I think that's like an unspoken thing that a lot of women need to realize. Like, if somebody is going through the effort, like he brought a bottle of wine, he went and bought that shirt. He ain't had that shirt in his closet. He bought a shirt. you know, he got on YouTube and tried to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, like fix a sink. And, you know, he laughed at her friend's lame jokes and things like that. Like, he was giving effort. But, I mean, sometimes people's effort ain't enough. Ask me how I know. But, I'm just saying. Which now leads me to, I don't know, is there anything else I want to talk about with Lawrence? Again, I do like how they are honing in on his insecurities, honing in on Molly's insecurities, and then to transfer over to Issa, it's like we're honing in more on her vulnerability this season. Like, she's been more vulnerable in this season than I've seen in the past 3 seasons of expressing how she feels about something, as opposed to just like rapping in the mirror about it. Like, she's opening up to the people around her about a lot of the stuff that she's been going through. And let me just say, so we going over to Issa right now. Amal was the real MVP of this episode. I love the fact that he's a character that we see sometimes, we don't see, we see sometimes, we don't see. I love the fact that we got to see a different side of him. He's normally like the nagging, like hating brother or whatever, or like, you know, it always gives her some type of flack about something that she's doing in her life. So to see them kind of have like the other side of a sibling relationship that's not the sibling rivalry part, that I thought that was really, really dope to see that. And for him to kind of be the sounding board that she needs, since like Molly isn't that. And it's like she can't, I mean, even though she's developing a friendship with Condola, she can't talk about Condola about seeing Condola and Lawrence together on a date. And she can't talk about Molly with that, because Molly would just make it about her and Andrew. And she can't talk about Tiffany because Tiffany, you know, can't talk about it with Tiffany because Tiffany will make it about Tiffany. And Kelly would, I don't know what Kelly would do, but she's not that. I don't think Kelly is a friend that you go to for that kind of advice either. So the fact that she could go to her brother Amal, I thought that was really dope. I thought it was, you know, very good that they still spent Thanksgiving together. And like, it kind of showed for like people who, you know, Thanksgiving is what you make it. As long as you can be thankful for who you're with, that's all that really matters. I think sometimes we get so caught up in like trying to do things that we're supposed to do. Like the episode said, that it's like, you know, things can be different and it's still okay. So I love the conversation that she had with him in the restaurant, where she was just honest about like, this is how I feel about it. And it was so relatable how she tried to walk it back real quick. Like, I don't have the right to feel that way. And he's like, no, you got the right to feel however you want to feel. And let me just say, for the record, how she felt is exactly what I said. What was it, last episode of my my recap? Condola is reaping the benefits of who Issa helped transform Lawrence into. And real quick, I forgot to mention earlier, in the very beginning, when Condola and Lawrence were having a conversation, and he's like, I feel like I need to step my game up, and she goes, you're perfect. That was when I knew she don't want this man. And not because there's anything wrong with saying anybody is perfect, but if you realize, like, if somebody's like, oh, I feel like I need to step my game up, it's like, all right, well, how we doing this? In what ways do you want to? Like, you got the support, you got, you know what I'm saying? But then that's me. This is just my opinion and how I feel about things. But it's like, if he would have said to Issa back during that 5-year stint where he wasn't doing nothing, like, I feel like I need to step my game up, she would have been like, yeah, you do. She'd been honest with him. And I feel like Condola, he's a temporary for her. He is the rebound guy. So he is perfect for her. He's perfect right where he is, because she don't want to require anything else of him. She want him to be just that guy who shows up, who likes her, who she wants him, you know, when she wants him to. That's that. So I thought it was very, very, very dope that Issa went ahead and, you know, called a spade a spade. Like, Condola is getting all of what I put in for that. Like, and who can't relate to that? Like, how many times have you dealt with different situations and all you came out with was a lesson? Like, all right, can I get some happiness in a lesson? Can I get the person that I did all this work for and the lesson? I'm okay with the lesson guy, but like, can I get a both? Can I get both? Can we get both? And like, why this person that ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't put in on this, what, shooting in the gym? Why she get to reap the benefits? You know what I'm saying? Like, she went in the gym shooting with us. So I felt Issa 100p on that. Like, yeah, 100%. Thought that was really, really good. And back to the Molly and Issa, you know, relationship. I was so glad that Amal made the statement, like, just because it's something that people say you should do don't mean that you have to do it. Like, how many times have we been in situations where we force things just because it was the politically correct thing to do, or because your mama wanted you to do it, or you know what I'm saying, like, or it's the norm. No, you don't have to do anything that don't serve you, which is what Issa said a few episodes ago. And I just feel like her going over there to Molly's would have just checked the box, and that's it. Like, I don't think the conversation would have happened. I also think it wasn't the time nor the place. If you got your whole family there, they playing games, you know, enjoying each other on Thanksgiving, it's not the place for you and Issa to hash out your friendship. So I was glad that Issa just, you know, declined. You know, like, it's not. I don't think it would have changed anything. It just would have been a routine of what was before, but they're not in the place that they were before. So why fake the funk? You know what I'm saying? Why are we capping about this? There's clearly something that's not going right. So why would I take the time out on my Thanksgiving to, you know what I'm saying, break bread or eat pie with you when I know we not there? Like, I don't see the point in that whatsoever. Comment below, let me know how you feel about all of the above. Like, usually I'd be like, comment, let me know, let's talk. But yeah, like, seriously, let's talk. What y'all think about Lawrence jumping the gun on this relationship? What y'all think about Molly and her expectations of other people but not for herself? What y'all think about Issa? And I just love Issa's growth in this episode and just this season. I know I say it every time, but I really do. It's so fun to watch. It's so fun to be a part of. One other thing. Named Chad. First of all, I don't think Chad has a girlfriend at all. I don't think she exists. We've never seen her. Is she real? I don't know, because that whole no face no case thing was a little too like, who your arm around, because it ain't around nobody. But anyway, I was so glad that Chad held Lawrence accountable in that car ride. Granted, he ain't got his life together, Lawrence ain't got his life together. I feel like that was a good meeting of the minds of like, yo, you doing way better than you was. You was a bum. Like, and I'm so glad one of his friends said it versus like a woman saying it, because everybody's always like, oh, y'all so hard on Lawrence. But like, no, Lawrence needs to be hard on. Like, he was a bum for like that whole relationship. So like, why, like, we gonna leave it there. But I was glad that Chad brought that up, because he, you know, he kind of reminded Lawrence, like, don't forget who you were. You know, so you've come so far from where you were. Understand, like, you wasn't always here. So be clear, like, you wasn't. So I was very, very, very appreciative of that. So that is all that I have for this video for this week. I love, this has been my favorite episode so far. I've watched it 3 times, and granted, I watch it just to see if I miss anything, so when I get on here and talk about it, I can talk about it. But I also watched it because I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, how could I forget to talk about this? Okay, so Issa and Lawrence, that DM at the end, what y'all think? What y'all think? See, I wore this shirt today because I want that old thing back, y'all. I am ready. You know, we had to go back to where it started. I'm here for it. I am here for it. That smirk he had at the end when they played Case of the X, it was perfect. Whoever put this episode together, I'm gonna have to Google it. Whoever put this together, 2 thumbs up. That when Case of the X came, I literally jumped off the couch. I was like, I know that's right. All by myself, scared of Adonis, you know, but whatever. I was so hyped. I'm here for it. They are not who they used to be. They have both grown and both matured, and even though I give Lawrence flack, he is not who he was. And like I said, the effort that he gave in this episode, I applaud. Like, I seriously do applaud, because I see the effort that he didn't give Issa, but I see the effort that he was giving towards this girl. So if that same effort can be transferred over to my cousin Issa, I'm here for it. And if Issa can continue to be this mature person who says how she feels when she feels it, and can articulate it in a good way that's not, you know, toxic and is not harsh and mean, what we waiting for? You know, Issa, it's time for y'all to get back together. That's what time it is. I'm I'm here for it. I'm ready. I want to see them together. Condola, her and her little boring friends can go have fun together. Yeah, so I'm here for it. Comment below, let me know what y'all thought about that, or if y'all think, where you think this is gonna go. I think it's gonna get weird now that like Issa and Lawrence are friends. Like, we've dealt with the you're friends with my ex, but we haven't dealt with my current, you know, love interest is friends with his ex. So I think that's gonna be, and I think that Amal's statement of don't do something just because people say you should, i.e. like, don't entertain your ex just because he's dating somebody that you know now. I'm just saying. No, I'm not. In real life, I'd say no. But on the show, go for it, girl. Like, do you, boo-boo. Do you. Whatever. So that is all that I have for the video this week. Little recappy cap. This was one of my favorite episodes. I'm so excited to see what episode 4 brings. Comment below. Let's get the conversation going. What y'all think about Issa and Lawrence at the end of the episode. What y'all think about Molly and her unrealistic expectations. What y'all think about, you know, Lawrence jumping the gun on this relationship with Condola and them wanting 2 different things and not discussing that up front. Or maybe they discussed it, but he just wasn't listening. Like, what y'all think about Amal this episode? Like, I absolutely loved Amal this episode. So yeah, I think that's it. If you want to go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I do these kind of videos right now because I'm waiting on packages from companies to do hauls. I appreciate everybody who is rocking with me and watching these videos. Shout out to my subscribe tribe. I absolutely love and adore every single one of y'all. I read all the comments. I try to reply back to all the comments. I absolutely love y'all and appreciate y'all. If you want to join the sorority and fraternity of great people that are in the subscribe tribe, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications, because I have yet to come up with a filming and posting schedule just yet, so you don't know when it's gonna happen, so you don't want to miss nothing. So go ahead and hit the bell so they let you know whenever I'm gonna post a video. Without further ado, I think that is all that I have for this video. Come see me in future videos. I'm gonna try to post more. I'm trying to be a little bit more creative with what I do. Got some backdrops and stuff like that, so may do like some get ready with me's. I don't know, like whatever y'all want to do, I'm here for y'all. And I'm ready to have some fun with y'all. So yeah, I will see you in the next video, whenever it may be. Okay? Love y'all. See you next time.